been on this consumer affairs beat as long as I could remember, but I still got a buzz from a big scoop. Hey, you can't smoke on TV anymore.
It's a Twiggy stick.
Probably the only thing less healthy than a cigarette. Tonight, the buzz was back. I had a tip-off about a fancy dame with a hot lead. Her name was Zoya Sheftalovich, and she had a pair of pins you couldn't take your eyes off.
Twiggy stick?
No thanks.
So what's the deal with this BB cream?
It's a new makeup craze from Asia. It's called blemish balms or beauty balms, depending on who you ask. And it's supposed to be this miracle all-in-one product. So a serum, a foundation, a moisturizer, and a sunblock.
This was bigger than I thought.
Thanks for the hot scoop.
Wait, that's not the story. Everybody knows that bit.
Just as I suspected.
The real story is how these BB creams and other makeups are claiming they're not involved in animal testing, but they actually are.
But you've got to do animal testing, you know, to protect the broads.
No, we don't. There are lots of new alternatives, like testing on donated corneas and skin cells. That's why the EU has banned animal testing altogether. And anyway, these cosmetic companies need to be upfront about their animal testing. Some people really care about this stuff, and they ought to know the truth. And don't you ever call me a broad.
Feisty broad.
You too.
It was a great lead, but I needed some kind of clue. Any kind of clue. Anything at all.
Of course.
I needed more matches. But while I was there, I moseyed down the makeup aisle. Some of the products were cruelty-free and had the logos to prove it. Others claimed to be cruelty-free, but made their own logos up. And then there were those that just said,
Against animal testing? What does it even mean?
how the hell would I know?
That was a rhetorical question.
The dame was wrong. They were all against animal testing. I saw the logos with my own eyes. This story was deader than a stool pigeon pumped full of lead, hog-tied at the bottom of...
But those labels aren't all telling the same story. That's part of the problem.
The story was back on track. It was more on track than a Jersey locomotive hurtling through
Do you mind? We're talking about animal cruelty here. They drip chemicals into the eyes of rabbits. They take animals and shave them, then apply chemicals to their skin to see if they get a bad reaction. And the tests include killing them and doing autopsies.
So why do they do it?
It's because of China. It's a huge market, and in order to be registered there, cosmetic companies have to have their products tested on animals.
So any cosmetics sold in China are tested on animals?
Exactly, and the cosmetic companies pay for it themselves.
No sudden moves, Reucassel. I'm packing heat. This is your final warning. Lay off the cosmetic companies, or next time I mightn't be so polite. Thanks very much for your time, ma'am.
So many questions swirling around my head. Who was behind it all? How did they get away with it? And was that really the best background we could get? I had to go and see the very nice lady again. I decided to go undercover.
I've already done that. And it turns out not even the people selling the stuff know what's going on. I spoke to dozens of staff, and only one of them knew what was happening. Most of them said things like...
It's actually illegal now. Internationally, it's illegal to test on animals. Because of the animal rights, it's so big now. So just wanted to check, are your products tested on animals?
No, we're actually a part of, we're actually owned by ABC1.
Oh, okay.
So we don't test on animals.
So if even the people selling the stuff don't know what's going on, it's no wonder consumers don't understand what's happening.
Great work, but terrible camera work. Now all I had to do was find out who the big cheese was behind all this animal testing.
I've already done that too.
This was getting annoying.
L'Oreal, Estée Lauder, Clinique, Dior, Olay, Pond's, L'Occitane, Jolique, they're all doing it.
I got L'Oreal. What was the next one? Will you stop doing that? Sorry about that.
Even brands that have built their reputation on being proudly anti-animal testing, like Bobbi Brown, are now owned by Estée Lauder and sold in China.
Bobbi Brown, you used to be so pure.
And don't get me started on the websites of some of these companies. Like Giorgio Armani proudly claims on their website that it doesn't even have animal testing conducted by anyone else. But they're sold in China, and animal rights groups say they do test on animals.
Thank God my typewriter's connected to the NBN.
And that against animal testing box you just saw, that one's from Palmer's. They may claim that they're cruelty-free, but they're sold in China too, so they're involved.
All the pieces were falling into place, like some kind of a thing with pieces coming together nicely. I just had to work out what people could do about it.
Yep, I've already done that too.
For God's sake.
All we have to do
I told you when I'd be back. I would be so polite. Well, here I am, you gap-toothed moron.
Come on.
Animal testing isn't... And anyway, animal testing isn't the fault of the cosmetic companies. The Chinese government make them do it so they can put their products in there.
But they do have a choice. The Body Shop has decided not to sell their products in China, even though they're owned by L'Oreal. And Urban Decay and John Paul Mitchell Systems have pulled out of the Chinese market since finding out about their animal testing policies. And the more companies pull out of China, the more pressure there is on the government to change the law.
See what I have to deal with?
Cute story, lady. Prepare to... I'm just gonna turn the light on, I think.
Huh, there are my keys.
Hey, cute story, baby. As I was saying, prepare to kiss the angel.
Sorry, mate.
So you take that message back to whoever sent you.
Who said that?
I wrapped this story up in a neat and tidy little bow. Well, I guess we hadn't in any way stumped animal testing.
Who is that?
Don't worry. There are no voiceover guys in the big house. Want to go get a steak?
Yeah.